Please welcome my next guest, Maureen Flynn.
Good evening, everybody. I hope to be able to make a link with someone here tonight and bring a loved one through from the world of spirit. I have been given the name of Taylor. Now, someone here tonight either is Mr. Taylor or the name of Taylor will have a close connection with you.
My mother's maiden name is Taylor.
Because you see, I have a gentleman here who links with that name very clearly. And he would have been quite elderly when he passed, and he passed with a heart condition, chest, lungs, heart condition. And he would have linked with your mum, and he came very clearly to bring his love to you. I feel he's your granddad. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And who's Jimmy? Do you know who Jimmy is?
Can't
Or
picture
James.
Jimmy.
James? I'd love you to find Jimmy, James, because I feel that there's a link in the family there for that name. Hang on a minute. Do you know who Doris is?
No, I can't picture that either.
Okay. I know I made a mistake linking this gentleman with Doris, because he doesn't look a bit like a Doris, as I said. But I do know that I'm in the same area here. I have a lady, and I don't know whether I'm saying Doris, Dorothy, or Doreen, but the Dory bit is right. And I know that I'm in this area here. Can someone here take Doris? Can you place the... I want to say Dory, but I know it's a name
Doris,
like...
you're right.
Doris. And the young man who passed in some kind of crash, some kind of accident. Does that make sense to you?
And we're on a programme and everybody wants the truth, so you've got to go a little further.
I'm terribly sorry. The name of John I want to give too. Does John make sense to you?
No, but I think you've got him crossed with the last caller. It's James or Jimmy.
James, Jimmy. Please forgive me. I'll have to let you be the judge of whether that makes sense to you, because obviously when you're trying to put a lot in very quickly, then you do get these sort of links. But he passed very suddenly and very quickly. And it's funny because I could feel something over his face. I could feel something over his face. As if he would have had some kind of...
This is most unfortunate you picked me, actually, because I'm a slightly non-believer.
But does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it does make sense.
That's right. That's fine. Because I just felt... And he reached out his hand. He reached out his hand.
Yes, you've got my husband, so... but I'm really the wrong person for this programme.
Well, I'm terribly sorry. You should have told your husband that. Not me.
Oh, God. Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that obviously through all this he's been trying to reach you, and just to let you know that he's pleased you're here. But I hope that maybe his link with you will bring you some joy that he's here with you tonight, and a lot of love.
Well, I want us to look carefully at the connections that you say you made. Let's take a vote. First, how many people in our audience tonight can connect with the name Taylor? About 30%. And now, how many people can relate to the condition of the grandfather? About 55%. So to sum up, about a third connect with the name Taylor, and over half connect with the details of the grandfather. Well, that's very interesting. Maureen's statement seemed to be more general than each of you thought before we took the vote. Make of that what you will. Let's consider whether you might have forgotten other details which none of you picked up. Do people remember accurately what takes place in a reading? Well, we have with us tonight Mr. Rod Beale. Mr. Beale, you're a satisfied client of Maureen's, I understand. Is that correct?
Yeah.
She did a reading for you not too long ago, which I understand you think is a very good reading.
Yes, she did.
A few simple questions, if I may. First of all, how long did the thing last, first of all, the reading?
About half an hour.
About half an hour. How many names, pardon me, did she give you during that period of half an hour?
Probably half a dozen.
About half a dozen. And did they all hit?
Not everyone.
How many
but
did
they
would
had
you
a
say?
similar sounding, like Doreen, Maureen, that type of thing.
Well, you were kind enough to give us a tape recording of that reading done by Maureen Flynn for you. And for your information, during your reading, Maureen Flynn tried these names, and they are on the tape of the reading that you're referring to. Alan, Alfred, Alice, Anne, Bill, Charlie, Colin, Connie, David, Derek, Eileen, Ellen, Flory, Frank, Fred, George, Jim, Joe, John, Karen, Catherine, Kevin, Lillian, Lisa, Liz, Lynn, Mark, Mary, May, Michael, Rob, Ron, Shirley, Sydney, Stanley, Sid, and Steve. That's 37 names, and she also asked you if you could connect with any name beginning with an N or an L, and you could not do so. Now, in the ones that were accepted, and you did accept 9 of the 37 that were given, these were some of the categories: a son, a lodger, a brother, a nephew, an adopted nephew, a grandfather, a fellow worker, a cousin, and the neighbor's dog. Now,
That's right out of context.
I'm sorry?
Right out of context.
We have a transcript of it right here, sir, and you may have that transcript to refer to it, and the names, I think, are outlined there, all 37 of them.
You can analyze anything. You can analyze Encyclopedia Britannica. Mr. Beale is here because he felt that what he actually got on that tape made sense to him, very much so.
Private sittings, one must also remember that a person just cannot, in the first sitting, be absolutely sure. If you're going to make a research of these things, there should be a number of sittings taken with the medium, and over a long period of time, checking the results. I've been a medium for 60 years, and I've always said, if I give a 70 or 80% perfect demonstration, I do very well.
Archdeacon Perry, is it? How do you do, sir? I wonder what your opinion of this whole thing is. Would you share it with us?
The
Archdeacon?
veil between this world and the next is a very odd veil, and you can occasionally see through it. Not as often as mediums and psychics think, but it certainly can be seen through occasionally.
But I do think a lot of it comes down to probabilities. And here we see the obvious problem that we disagree about what it means. You gave a good example in that tape there with the 37 names. People remember the ones that make sense and they forget the ones that don't make sense. But we're all left with different opinions. Some people feel like I do, well, there are so many names, we could all connect up to it. It means nothing to me. Other people, when it touches something important to them and stirs emotions in them, they feel genuine emotions that we shouldn't just wash away and say are worthless. I would love to understand what's going on, but I'm afraid I don't.
Well, thank you all for your comments, and thank you very much, Maureen, for taking part.